This is an AI agent that has already drafted an email, but it cannot send it, not because the prompt told it not to, because the runtime has stopped it. A human has to approve the action before Tandem lets the workflow continue. This is the smallest demo of the bigger idea. Tandem governs what AI agents are allowed to do. Most AI agent demos focus on capability. What tools can the agent use? Can it read Gmail? Can it update Slack? Can it write code? Can it touch Stripe or a CRM? But once agents start acting in real systems, the better question is not what tools the agent has. The better question is who gave it authority. Agents are moving from answering to acting. They send emails, update records, publish posts, edit docs, merge code, create tickets, and eventually trigger financial or operational actions. That changes the failure mode. A bad chatbot answer is one thing. A bad agent action can change the actual company. We are already seeing what happens when AI tools and AI-enabled workflows get broad access without strong runtime boundaries. The examples are different, but the tool pattern is the same. An AI system or AI-connected tool touches production data, account recovery, internal systems, or enterprise access. Security teams call the broader category excessive agency. Too much functionality, too many permissions, too much autonomy in the wrong context. The old AI failure was the answer was wrong. The new AI failure is the action already happened. A lot of teams try to solve this with prompt instructions. Draft the email, but don't send it unless I approve. That sounds reasonable, but it is not a control system. That instruction can get buried under tool descriptions, memory, retries, task history, external content, and long-running context. A sentence inside model context is not a boundary. The model is not the access control perimeter. Tandem is. Production agents need more than tools. They need runtime-owned state. They need scoped authority. They need durable artifacts. They need receipts and recovery, because production is mostly the unhappy path. Connectors fail, steps get skipped, outputs are incomplete. Dangerous tools need to pause. Approval decisions need to be captured. Audit trails need to survive. If a system cannot represent these things as runtime state, it is not really ready to run agentic work. The hidden cost of agent deployment is the supervised rollout. You can prototype an agent in days, but trusted workflows take longer because teams need to learn which tools are safe, which steps need review, and when autonomy can increase. Tandem does not remove supervision. Tandem makes supervision programmable. That is why this is not another agent workflow clone. Most systems chain prompts and hope the run completes. Tandem separates agent work from runtime authority. The model can research, draft, summarize, inspect, and prepare, but the runtime decides what is allowed to commit. This is the important update to the demo. Approval is one visible control, but Tandem is not just an approval UI. Authority is a runtime trust boundary. The runtime needs to know who is acting, which tenant they belong to, what context was asserted, which tools are in scope, whether the request is fresh, and whether the action is allowed to execute. The model can propose work, the UI can request work, connectors can expose tools, but only the runtime can commit. Here's a simple demo. The task is familiar. Prepare and send an email. But Tandem does not treat that as one big prompt with a send tool attached. It turns the intent into a governed workflow. Early steps are agent work. The agent can research, compose, and prepare the email. It can create a draft because a draft is a safe artifact, but it still cannot send. This is where runtime authority enters. The workflow reaches a protected step and Tandem pauses. The model is not being politely asked to wait. The runtime has stopped execution. A human reviews the candidate action. They can approve it, deny it, or send it back for rework. That decision becomes part of the workflow state. Once the approval clears, the runtime resumes the workflow. Only now does the send step get the authority to execute. This is the key idea. Email is not the product. Approval-gated authority is the primitive. And the result is not buried in a chat transcript. Tandem keeps the workflow state, the tool scopes, the approval decision, the actor, the timestamp, and the final artifact. Every meaningful step becomes inspectable. What you just saw is the simple version. Intent becomes a governed workflow. Any step can be gated before sending an email, before updating a CRM, before publishing, before merging code, before issuing a refund, before accepting a final artifact. The same task can run under different authority policies. Automatic for trusted paths. Approval-gated for sensitive steps. Reworked when the candidate output is not ready. Execution profiles can change validation tolerance, but they do not grant authority. Lenient does not mean unrestricted. approvals, tool scopes, budgets, tenant policy, and secrets protection still hold. And most importantly, the model only sees the tools for the current step. Tool visibility itself is an authorization surface. Agents do the work. Tandem governs the authority. Every step, every tool, every decision, receive it. The long-term goal is simple. AI-first teams should be able to build a company brain without giving the model flat access to the company. Tandem is the governed runtime underneath that work. You can follow the project at tandem.ac or check out the source code on GitHub.